These days are right. Oh, sorry.
Make sure you start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go, man. Come on.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
If you're curious about the two shirts, we explained it in a prior episode. Jerry,
We're letting him have vacation.
I don't know who does that. Who
approved that?
Goes on.
But he's the man that does it all. He did research on the last one.
He did. On the fly research.
On the fly.
So,
Give us a thumbs up.
We're stacking up a few episodes here. So today is B6.
Pyridoxine.
Pyridoxine.
Did I say that correct?
I think so.
All
That's
right.
how I would read it.
Oh.
So, all right, go. What you got?
The number one thing that I got out of this is a danger sign. Taken in the wrong form, it can be harmful.
Really?
Yeah. If you take it as a hydrochloride, if the B6 has hydrochloride, it can be bad. So the good things, I guess it helps with your cortisol and your stress. Did you get that one?
No.
It helps create serotonin.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't get that specifically, but I got stuff around that.
It turns amino acids into glucose from non-carb sources.
Turns amino acid into glucose from non-carb sources.
Carb sources are already glucose, right?
So think of carnivore people that still are able to generate the proper amount of glucose.
Right.
Got it.
So this is very important to that. And then I'll get into in a second, but this is huge for females. 32% of all women are deficient in B6.
That's interesting. I did not get that.
So
if I may
go ahead,
jump back, similar to all the other B6s or all the other Bs, most of the other Bs, water soluble.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to consume it. We can't retain it. It's absorbed in the small intestine and metabolized in the liver.
Okay.
So moving on, B6 and women, what's the deal? Why are they deficient?
Helps with PMS, anxiety, depression, irritability. It reduces all of those.
Can I get a main line into my water?
Right. If you're pregnant, it reduces morning sickness and vomiting. There's studies that show there is a breast cancer reduction with taking B6.
Gosh, man, you got totally
fluid
different info.
retention, right? There's a reduction in fluid retention, and a lot of females in pregnancy have a carpal tunnel syndrome. My wife did, and that helps reduce that as well.
What?
Yeah.
Pregnancy and carpal tunnel?
They tend to be retain a lot of fluid. So I guess the
extremities,
the joints that, in particular, I
remember my doing it right.
My wife wore literally wrist guards in her.
Really?
Yeah, she got tons of fluid.
You're sure she wasn't suicidal, married to you?
Yeah, that was probably it. Banging her fist on the table.
So that's all right, dude. That's my stuff is nothing. I mean, it's kind of like that, but not quite.
Hey, I like that.
Focused.
I like that we go off and do different things. So just tell me what you got.
So I got that B6 is needed because more than 100 enzymes in the body use it to metabolize different things. Nutrient metabolism, carbs, sugars, and lipids, which is rare. I think you kind of hinted about that. Hemoglobin synthesis.
Yes, I did read that.
I think you did say that. Neurological function, which is kind of the umbrella for a lot of what you mentioned. Immune system function.
Nice.
So specifically neurological or psychiatric, there's seizures in kids, mood and depression. Skin, I found really interesting. So dermatitis, there was a technical name, I didn't write it down, but dermatitis in hair-prone areas. We've talked about my wife is dealing, and she's seen improvement. She's on various vitamin supplements, vitamin C, but this one struck me as really strange. So another one is glossitis, which is soreness in the tongue. And then cheilitis,
Lip inflammation.
Lip inflammation. Right. So, neurological, skin, which includes the tongue and the lips, and then blood causes anemia, which in red blood cells, actually the red blood cells are responsible for delivering oxygen throughout the body. So that's a pretty big deal, right?
Those are huge functions that you mentioned.
And you mentioned in pregnant women that of course, I'm just speculating here, but not enough oxygen getting delivered down there, maybe.
Could be. Could be what's wrong with my kids, too.
Right. So interesting takes. We went different directions. Kind of comes back to the same.
You want to know about the deficiencies?
Yeah.
All right. So take a guess at what makes you become deficient in B6.
Alcohol.
Ding.
Refined sugars.
Ding.
Refined flours, which are basically refined sugars, right. Carbohydrates.
Okay. A couple more you might not be aware of. If you took the synthetic version of this, of B6.
The bad one?
The bad one, okay. It actually takes other B6 out of your body.
Oh.
Yay.
Yeah.
Birth control pills. Isn't that wild? I mean, messing with the female system, right?
Yep.
Stress takes this out of your system, and gut issues. We talked about that before. Absorption.
Now, see, I would go back to
inhibitors,
the stress.
dissection.
Is that cause a correlation, right? Because
Could be.
a lack of it affects. Where was it? Blah blah blah. Neurological function, including mood and depression. So anyways, yeah, I got sidetracked there, I guess. But yeah, B6 looks like it's a pretty big deal, and you need it. So I got food sources are kind of same thing, right? Meat, fish, poultry,
right?
Legumes. Here's a strange one I caught. It's the only time I recall it being mentioned as a healthy food source. Starchy potatoes, starchy vegetables, mainly potatoes.
Interesting. Yeah, I got tuna, turkey, beef, chicken, salmon, sunflower seeds, and spinach. I like sunflower seeds. Yeah. Man, sunflower seeds just keep popping up lately.
I love them.
They keep popping up. I've actually got 2 huge bags that I ordered, and they're vitamin E. I guess you got to get the right kind. You get some of the bad kinds.
Did you get them shelled or?
Unshelled.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Gonna eat those like crazy, man.
Yeah. So anyway.
So last on the food list, another one that popped up out of nowhere. The starchy vegetable surprises me because generally speaking, that's bad for your glycemic index and a bunch of other things. But this one was bananas.
Another one.
Bananas and vitamin B6. So
cool.
Who knew? Got anything else?
Nope. I'm ready with my fingers. Questions, comments, concerns, emails, snackcast.
Questions, comments, concerns. Hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
Stay moving.
See ya!